Hey, what's up guys? Today, I'll show you a crime horror film, Bereavement. Spoilers ahead, watch out and take care. A deranged butcher exits his house. He enters his car and heads to the town, where he watches children play outside the school. Meanwhile, young Martin sits alone on a swing. His mother is inside the house, interviewing a nurse to take care of him. Mother tells the nurse that Martin suffers from a condition that makes him unable to feel physical pain. Butcher arrives at Martin's backyard. He approaches Martin and offers Martin a free bike. Martin comes with Butcher to the truck to get the bike, but Butcher kidnaps him and drives away. The mother realizes too late that Martin is missing and is unable to find him. In the basement of an abandoned slaughterhouse, a girl is chained up. Butcher enters with Martin. Butcher grabs a knife and tells Martin that the knife doesn't hurt. He cuts Martin across the cheek, and Martin feels nothing due to his condition. Butcher stabs the girl repeatedly, while Martin watches. Despite being unable to understand the pain, Martin gets scared and runs away, but gets caught. 5 years later, a bus drops off teenager Ollie at the side of the road. Her uncle picks her up, and they go to the uncle's house together. They arrive at the house, and Ollie's cousin, Wendy, runs out to greet her. The aunt welcomes Ollie with a hug, and they enter the house to get settled. Meanwhile, in a diner nearby, a waitress gets in her car after her evening shift. Butcher arrives and blocks her car in with his own. She confronts him, but Butcher knocks her out. He loads her into his car and brings her to the slaughterhouse. He drags her down to the basement and chains her up. The next morning, Ollie goes for a jog. Meanwhile, the waitress hears another female victim in the basement. The second victim tells her that it is useless to resist and that they will die in the basement. She screams for help. Ollie passes the slaughterhouse but cannot hear the screams due to her headphones. Ollie sees Martin watching her from the windows, but he quickly hides, and Ollie is left confused. She continues jogging but is almost run over by a passing truck. She falls and injures her leg. Billy, who is working on his car nearby, sees her and goes to help. He offers to take her home, and Ollie eventually accepts. While driving Ollie home, Billy learns that Ollie moved in with her uncle after both of her parents died. Billy drops Ollie off at her house, while Ollie's uncle watches disapprovingly from a distance. Inside the basement, the second victim tells the waitress that she feels her hand coming loose, but Butcher enters with Martin, and the two captives stay silent. Butcher grabs a knife from the table and heads to the second victim. While he kills her, Martin runs away. Martin is freaked out when he runs into a bull's skull hanging on the wall. Butcher arrives and starts talking to the skull. He tells it that everything is under control. Butcher removes Martin's shirt and locks him into a small cage. He boils water and uses it to wash Martin's shirt, but ends up injuring his hands. Right then, he hallucinates a shadow appearing behind him and starts arguing with it. The next day, Ollie's uncle drops her off at school. They pass the slaughterhouse, and Ollie tells her uncle about the boy she saw. The uncle tells her that it was probably vandalizers and that she should stay away from the slaughterhouse. Ollie learns that Butcher lives inside the building and that Butcher was forced by his father to work at the abandoned house day and night. Soon they arrive at school, and the uncle tells Ollie that he will pick her up at 2:30. On the other side, Butcher washes Martin with the boiling water and then dresses him. They reconcile, and he gives Martin a brush to wipe the second victim's blood from the walls. At the same time, Ollie inquires about the varsity team, but is disappointed to find out that the school only has a cheerleading team. She gets bored watching the cheerleading team practice and leaves for Billy's house. On the way to Billy's house, Butcher's car drives past her. The uncle arrives to pick Ollie up from school, but she has just arrived at Billy's house. Billy tries to ask Ollie out on a date, but he gets interrupted by his father calling for him. Billy finds his paralyzed father on the floor. Ollie enters the house and helps get the father back in his wheelchair. Ollie leaves shortly after. While walking home, she sees Butcher standing in his driveway, but continues on her way. In the basement, the waitress talks to Martin, but he doesn't respond. Butcher enters and wonders why Martin keeps on running away, even though he doesn't feel pain. He cuts Martin on the arm, but Martin doesn't react. Later that night, Ollie arrives home to find her aunt and uncle waiting for her. They are worried because she was not at school when the uncle went to fetch her. She goes up to her room and chats with Wendy. The waitress wakes up with Martin in front of her and asks him for help. Martin grabs a knife and cuts the ropes. Meanwhile, Butcher is upstairs writing about his victims. He starts talking to the bull's skull behind him. Butcher asks it to stop tormenting him, since he has done everything it has asked from him. Meanwhile, the waitress escapes with Martin's help. After seeing her gone from the basement, Butcher starts chasing after her. The waitress runs into Butcher, who drives her into the slaughterhouse. She grabs a meat hook for a weapon and hides. Butcher enters and looks for the waitress. She sneaks up behind him and tries to hit him, but he blocks her attack and beats her down. He pulls a meat hook closer and hooks it onto her leg. He drags her to the furnace where he locks her in and burns her alive. After that, Butcher scolds Martin. He tells him that he has to make up for his insolence and orders Martin to clean the furnace. Inside the house, Butcher starts arguing with a blanket-covered corpse. The body is his abusive father's, who is the cause of his childhood trauma. It turns out his dead father is also who he thinks of when he sees the shadows and the bull skulls. He tells his dead father that he is the one that caused all this. When he hallucinates the body turning to face him, he leaves in a panic. The following day, Ollie is distracted in class. Her teacher tells the class about how the behavior of children is strongly influenced by the things they see and hear every day. The class finishes, and Ollie goes for a jog. She runs into Billy, who takes her out to a restaurant. They end up hanging out inside the car while parked at an abandoned outdoor theater. Billy tells Ollie that his mother died from pneumonia and that his father was paralyzed in a construction accident. Ollie likewise tells Billy that her parents died in a car accident. They start kissing. At the same time, Butcher leaves his house and goes for a drive. A car pulls up to the outdoor theater, and a man sneaks up to the car. Billy and Ollie are surprised by Ollie's uncle appearing from nowhere. The uncle forces Ollie to come home with him. During the drive home, they argue about Ollie's future. The uncle tells her to stop hanging out with bad men like Billy, who he believes is rich in bad hormones. Ollie ends up telling him that she doesn't want to live with him. He replies by telling her that he made a promise to Ollie's father to take care of her in case he dies. The uncle makes Ollie decide between going back to Billy and going home with him. However, she chooses to go home. Meanwhile, Butcher wakes Martin up and brings him to the basement. Inside, a new woman is chained up. Butcher hands Martin a knife and tells him to stab her, but he refuses. Martin covers his ears as she screams. Butcher orders him to hold the woman still while he kills her. Shortly after, Butcher drowns Martin to punish him. Behind them, the shadow appears, but Butcher tells it that he is not afraid. He tells it to go back to hell. Later that day, Martin dreams of escaping, but gets stopped by a bull statue in the distance. He wakes up scared and alone. Ollie decides to live on her own and packs her things, while her aunt tries to convince her to stay. She tells Ollie that Billy shouldn't be trusted. Ollie learns that Billy lied to her and that his mother did not die from pneumonia. Instead, Billy's mother killed herself and caused Billy trauma and mental instability. This is why the uncle does not trust Billy. Ollie goes for a jog to clear her head. She passes the slaughterhouse and sees Martin watching her. Martin runs and Ollie chases him. She notices the bull statue when entering Butcher's house. Ollie ends up in the basement and sees Butcher's bloody collection of tools and trinkets. She sees a journal filled with news clippings about Martin and the rest of Butcher's victims, as well as samples of their hair. She finds Martin and tells him to come with her, but Butcher arrives and successfully captures Ollie. He then commends Martin for luring Ollie into the basement. The next day, the uncle goes out to look for Ollie, since she did not come home last night. Billy knocks at the door and asks for Ollie. The uncle tells Billy that Ollie is not home. The aunt tells Billy that they thought Ollie was with him, but Billy tells them that she isn't. The uncle blames Billy for Ollie's disappearance and tells him to stay away from Ollie. They fight, and the uncle leaves to look for Ollie. Butcher enters the basement and holds up a knife to Ollie. But right then, he hears the uncle calling for him and goes upstairs. The uncle asks Butcher if he has seen Ollie, but Butcher tells him that he hasn't. He asks if Butcher has a boy living with him. Butcher tells him to leave, but the uncle asks to enter the house. Butcher quickly leaves and returns with a shotgun. He then shoots the uncle dead. Butcher returns to the basement. He transfers Ollie to a soundproof walk-in freezer. He turns on the freezer, and Ollie sees frozen body parts and dead bodies inside. While Ollie freezes inside, Billy drives past the slaughterhouse and notices the uncle's car parked outside. He goes inside and enters the basement, while Butcher watches secretly. Ollie grabs a blanket to keep herself warm, but is shocked by the dead body lying underneath the blanket. Martin appears outside, and Ollie asks him to help, but he only leaves. Billy arrives and sees Ollie in the freezer. He manages to break the locks open, but Butcher sneaks up behind him. Ollie tries to warn him. However, Billy cannot hear her due to the sealed door. Butcher kills Billy with a shovel in an instant and drags Billy's body away. Butcher washes his face after that and starts talking to the bull skull again. He tells it to leave him alone. Butcher imagines the skull telling him to hurt Martin, but he refuses because Martin is innocent. He smashes the skull, but when he turns around, he sees the skull back on the wall, undamaged. Butcher holds a knife against his own throat, but he gives up and decides to follow the skull's instructions. We can surmise that Butcher is under heavy hallucination caused by his childhood trauma. Butcher goes to Martin in the kitchen. He starts shouting at Martin, who only stares at him uncomfortably. Disappointed by Martin's inability to feel anything, he stabs Martin's hand on the table, then leaves. Meanwhile, Ollie wakes up. She finds a metal rod and uses it to unlock the door. She escapes and runs into Martin in the kitchen. She removes the knife and bandages his hand. Ollie carries Martin and they escape together. While convincing Martin to run on his own, they run into the bull's statue outside, and Ollie kicks it down, proving to Martin that it is nothing to be afraid of. Butcher loads the uncle's body into the pickup truck and goes to the uncle's house. He knocks, and the aunt opens the door. He immediately attacks her. She tries to grab a knife, but he knocks it away and forces her to the ground. She tells Wendy to run away. She tries to pick up the knife again, but Butcher beats her to it and stabs her. He then brings the uncle's body inside and lays it beside the dying aunt. Butcher lights the curtains on fire and heads upstairs to kill Wendy. While this is happening, Ollie enters the house with Martin. Wendy grabs her dog and closes the bedroom door behind her. Butcher forces the door open, and the dog runs out. When Wendy begs him not to hurt her pets, Butcher is shocked by her innocence, which makes him temporarily come to his sense out of the trauma. He immediately regrets hurting innocent Martin and drops the knife. He tells Wendy that he killed his victims, as penance for his abusive father's sins. He goes to grab Wendy, but Ollie arrives with a knife and stabs him repeatedly. However, Butcher escapes while Ollie comforts Wendy. Ollie goes downstairs and calls the police, but notices Martin missing. After seeing blood on a door, she opens it. A hand emerges and stabs Ollie with a knife. Martin emerges from the door, revealing that he was the one that stabbed Ollie. He stabs her many times, and Ollie dies. Martin goes upstairs to kill Wendy, while the house continues to burn. Meanwhile, Butcher arrives back home. He sits beside his father's corpse and laments about how even Martin understood that he was being betrayed. This is why Martin kept running away, even when he didn't feel pain or fear. Martin arrives at the house and picks up an axe. He walks up behind Butcher and hits him on the head. He then hits him repeatedly until Butcher dies. The next day, firefighters and police arrive at the uncle's house, which is burned down completely. They fail to collect enough evidence and rule the fire as a tragic accident. Martin goes down to the basement and hangs Butcher's bones to the wall, just like Butcher did with the bull's skull, indicating that after those sufferings, Martin has now become the new demon killer like Butcher, who was similarly traumatized and tormented by his father. He waits by the windows of the slaughterhouse for his new victim. 5 years later, a young girl wanders into Butcher's old house while looking for help. She finds Martin, who is now grown up, sitting in the kitchen by himself. Martin turns around and stares at his next victim. This is Daniel CC Movie Channel. Stay safe and enjoy your day.